Hi, hello, namaste. Welcome back to our channel, Balaji English Language Learners. This is Jyothi, and I am here with a new video today. We are going to discuss about the 10th class syllabus, like English syllabus of Andhra Pradesh state. So, AP government are conducting the examinations, and the exams are very nearby. So, for the textbook, Our World Through English, class 10, the government of AP, whatever they have published, we are going to discuss each and every detailed topic of grammar, vocabulary, and the summary of the lesson. There is no much time, so let us only go on with the summary of the lesson so that we get a clear idea about what the lesson is, and then we are going to see what we are going to learn in the further things. Let me share this. Okay, let me share the screen with you so that you can see the textbook clearly. Right. Is the textbook clear, audible, and visible, both audio and video wise? Right. So this is a textbook where we are going to deal with, and in this textbook we are going to see, we are going to see right. This is the index where I am going to tell you all these lessons per day. Let us cover one unit. Today we are going to cover which unit? Personality development. So now firstly, what is personality development? Personality development is something where it is not related to the developing the personality which is growing height-wise, length-wise, or something like that. Here, when we go on with the personality development deals everything, how the person should behave with in detail. If I tell you something in a definition form, personality development, the theme of the first unit is personality development. Here, if you observe, we are discussing about, okay, fine. First, what is personality development? Is a question raised in your brain. So, personality development refers to the process by which the organized thought, that means the behavior pattern, how you are unique from others, and many factors will influence the personality, like you can say that genetic problem and environment, the surroundings, how we are parented, societal variables, and everything like this. And for example, if I say personality developing examples like actively learning to pay the attention, like whatever we say, active listening, open-minded question types, and supporting the body language, removing all the distractions, all this comes under personality development. So how many types of personality development are there? Yes, there are basically 5 aspects in this personality development. This page which I am showing you is called as a style sheet, where you will have the theme personality development. I think you already have the textbook with you. It will be more and more appreciable if you take your textbook along with you, take a pencil, sit, and then discuss all these things. So now, as I said, do you think, okay, 5 aspects I told you, right? One is extravision. Next one is something called spiritual aspects, emotional aspects, mental and physical, along with the social and moral aspects. Now, there will be a question from your side. So, is personality development important? Yes, personality development is most important because it helps you to live your life in a better way. So it builds you the confidence, it helps you to look your life in a positive way, it creates the positive energy within you. It also improves your health, improves your skills, decreases your stress, and makes you a more pleasing personality. Okay, now that's it for the theme. About the theme, no need to discuss more than this because the exams are very nearby. Let us go on with the first lesson. Attitude is altitude. Before that, let us see the face sheet given here. So if you observe these 3 pictures, so one is Sudha Chandran, next one is, yes, Stephen Hawking, and the third one is Helen Keller. So first question, what is given here? What qualities have made these persons great? So can anyone tell me what are the qualities which made these persons great? Sudha Chandran, Stephen Hawking, and Helen Keller. So now when you observe the persons in the above pictures, as you already named them. So now Sudha Chandran, who is a Bharatanatyam dancer. Who is Sudha Chandran? This person is Sudha Chandran. She is a Bharatanatyam dancer. Give me a second, right? She is a Bharatanatyam dancer. She is also a dancer in the film industry, television actress too. Yes, along with becoming a television actress, she also showed her courage because in an accident she had lost her leg. But still she is continuing to dance with a, yes, Jaipur leg. If you observe in the picture here, you can find that whether the leg is original or the Jaipur one. And the next person to you is Stephen Hawking. He is one of the famous scientists. So in spite of having his illness, he has done groundbreaking work. Like he is a very good scientist which is related to the physical science subject. So now the third person, the next person which is there on the screen is nothing but and is none other than Helen Keller. And this Helen Keller overcame the adversity. Like she was blind and deaf, but still she is one of the 20th century's leading humanitarians. Right? These three persons, all the three are great. And these three great persons showed that anything can be done if one tries hard. If at all you are trying hard, anything and everything you can succeed in your life. From their lives, if suppose you have to understand one thing you need to understand, that you should not lose hope. You need to continuously take care of your hope. You have to take your hope to a peak stage. Then, so their life shows us that disability need not prevent them from reaching, right? Okay. If you want to be a very good person and reach great heights, disability is not at all a abstraction. Okay? Disability undi kada ani mana life ni manamu ఆపకూడదు. దేవుడు ఇచ్చిన దాంట్లో మనం ఏదైతే దేవుడు ఇచ్చాడో దాంట్లో మనము సంతోషంగా తృప్తిగా ఏం చేయగలము దాంతో అనేది మన ఆలోచన ఉండాలి. ఏంటి ఇలా అయిపోయాము, నాకే ఎందుకు ఇలా అయింది, ఇలా అన్ని ఆలోచించడం మానేయాలి. సో క్వశ్చన్ ఇస్ వాట్ క్వాలిటీస్ మేడ్ దెమ్ great. So I can give you the answer like determination. What is that? Determination. And or you can say that willpower of achieving something, or you can say that the dedication throughout their life, or you can say that the discipline which they have followed, and the most important one, the confidence which they build are the qualities which made them great. Okay, so let us go on with the second question. What qualities do you think a person requires to be successful in his life? Yes, what are the qualities a person needs to be successful in his life? As I said just now, the discipline, right? Then you need to go on with the confidence level. If you have confidence also, you can reach great heights. You need to see that you should have courage to face all the situations. Positive thinking is the one which is most important, right? So you need to work hard also along with that. And you need to show your commitment. If you are showing your commitment also, you'll be successful. You need to have a strong desire also. A good character resembles everything, correct? All these characters, I think the person requires to be successful in his life. Is that clear till here? Shall we move on with the next part of the lesson? Okay, so now as I told you, there is no much time for us to discuss about the content or what so called. So I can tell you in brief that attitude is altitude is a lesson where, give me a second. Right. Attitude is an altitude is a lesson about a person named Nick Vujicic. If you see the picture here, you can see the Nick Vujicic. Even though he's a disabled person, the smile in his face says everything to us. The smile in his face says everything to us. So I can tell you the summary like it is a short biographical sketch Because the person who is writing about himself is nothing but a biographical sketch. The sketch which they are writing about themselves is a biographical sketch. So this is a short biographical sketch of life and the inspirational story of Nick Vujicic. Who is that person? The person name is Nick Vujicic. Right. He was born in Australia, but now he is living in US. Okay. And he was born without limbs. That means he has no legs and no arms. Medically, that so-called disease is termed as phocomelia. What is that? Phocomelia. You can just find that word also in the textbook in a next slide, I think. Give me a second. Let me show you the word phocomelia so that you keep it in your brain. Right. He's having a small disease named phocomelia. It is not at all explained by the doctors. It was a rare occurrence actually. Though he has no limbs, but also he can do many things in his life. He can swim. What are the things he can do, children? Yes, he can swim. He can surf. Yes, he can skate. And he can play golf also, GOLF golf. Then you can also say he can play football. He's a very good fan of football too. And he can also type on the computer. See how many things he can do. He can type and he can write also. As well as he can write. See. So now you might have a doubt in your brain that how can he do all these things? See. It is nothing but only the confidence level in him and the parents' support made him to do all these things. So if I tell you about something called, all this was only possible because of his small foot, which is on his left hip, Only the small foot, which is on his left hip, made him to do all these type of works. His father is a computer programmer and an accountant. He gave courage to swim and taught how typing on a keyboard of a computer. His mother is a nurse. She invented a plastic device that helps him to hold a pen or a pencil. Between his toes and how to write also. Initially, Nick and his parents felt very bad. Yes, starting stage when they saw that the person was born like that, everyone will feel sad, right? So very bad they felt. But they spent many years asking, what did they ask? Why only this happened to us? Why this cruel trick would happen to them? Okay, but the religious beliefs and the mother, father, teachers, friends, and also many other people, and also the education helped him to become successful in his complete life. And also it helped him to become independent personality in his life. So what happened once when he read a newspaper article, when he read a newspaper article at the age of 13, he read a newspaper article that was a drastic change. It was about a disabled man who had managed to achieve great things and help the others. And that disabled person, how he succeeded in his life doing small things in a great way. He got inspired. Nick, after going through that article, realized that the purpose behind his birth. Then he also started concentrating on good that he had. That means he says that he's having a very good eye, right? He can attract with his marvelous eyes. Then he started concentrating on good that he had, I said, and then to make them strengthen. So whatever he has good in his life, he wanted to make those things to strengthen that. He realized that he has born to give hope to the people who lost their spirits or hopes in their life. He thought that when I am in such a position with no arms and legs, let me just take over all these things to another personality where that person is thinking, or if suppose they are in a depressed state, at least one if the person change, I will be the luckiest person in the whole world. Okay. Then you can even say that he realized that God has given him life just to give hope to others. Since then, he became a motivational speaker. He also says few lines. What is that? If I fail, right? Yes. Those lines are nothing but you can see here. If I fail, I try and try again and again. If you fail, are you going to try it again? I tell people to keep on getting up when they fall and to always love themselves. These are the lines which inspired many people throughout the world. So he started moving from one place to another. As I told you, this football fan is also a motivational speaker. Now, he also believe in one thing. What is that? Challenges are only there in one's life to strengthen the convictions. They are not there to run over us. They are only there to strengthen the convictions. Now, what are these convictions called? Nothing but the beliefs. Nothing but the beliefs. Now, let us go on with the comprehension questions, so that we will have a clear idea about what and why we are going to read all these type of lessons. So what is my first question here? The first question states that I call it my chicken drumstick joked Nick. What does it refer to? How does it help him? See, it refers to a small foot. What is that? It refers to a small foot. It refers to a small foot that Nick has on his left hip. Where is that located? It is located in left hip. It helps him to balance. What is that doing? It is helping him to do some balance. It is enabling him to kick also. It is enabling him to kick. That when you are playing the golf, you need to kick, right? You are playing the football, you need to kick. All these things he is doing with his small foot, which is on his left hip. Which is on his left hip. Clear? Till here? Do you have any doubts till here? You can just mention me in the comment box so that I will clear your doubts. So Nick also uses his one foot to type, write with a pen and pick up things with his toes. Clear? First question is completed by this time. Now the second question. What is the second question? His parents decided not to send him to a special school. Was Nick happy about his parents' decision? Why and why not? Would you think that was about, what do you think about his decision? Okay. So the first question, to answer this question, I've already read the lesson, right? So Nick was not happy with his parents' decision because there may be or there might be the risk of bullying. His companions, like friends at the mainstream school may tease him. But later he'll realize that his parents' decision was the best one. I think that this decision was the best one his parents could have made for him, as he was able to achieve his, what did he achieve? He was able to achieve his degree in the financial planning and real estate. Right. So this decision made him to be independent. So now the next question, how did Nick's parents help him to become independent? As I told you right from the start, Nick's parents did their best to make him independent. His father put Nick in the water at the 18 months of age and gave him courage to learn how to swim. He encouraged Nick to get into football, skating. He taught Nick how to type with his toe when he was just 6 years old. Now, Nick's mother invented a plastic device that meant Nick could hold a pen or a pencil. Correct? You have seen in the picture also in the page, right? Despite of risk, that means risk is there. In spite of the risk of bullying, Nick's parents insisted him to go to the mainstream school only. They did not allow him to take any of the special school. They did not want his child to go to any of the special school. Clear till here? Right. What is the next question? Pick out the symptoms of Nick's depression. Do you think his depression was normal or something unique about him? Yes. Give your reasons for your opinion, right? So Nick was deeply depressed when he was of 8 years old. At what age? Do remember, this is very important. At 8 years of his age, he was very depressed. He went to the mother and said crying and he wanted to kill himself. That means he wanted to commit suicide. He felt very cold and bitter. He hated God for doing this to him. He was terrified about his future without his parents. He's thinking, if my parents were not there, what would be my life? At the age of 10, Nick tried to drown himself. At the age of 10, he tried to drown himself. Himself in the bathtub. He went to his bathtub and he wanted to kill himself. But these were the symptoms of Nick depression. I think his depression was normal because every person who's not having any disability also one or the other point of time became depressed. And any human being born like Nick might have the same depression too. So now, if you go on with the next question, fifth question, which incident in the text is funny and what makes it funny? So once Nick was moving in a car and a girl at the traffic light was looking at him interestingly, right? This was a funny incident. She would only see the Nick's head. So he decided to do the 360-degree spins in the car seat only to freak her out. When he saw the torso, she sped off really quickly. She got afraid and she really went away from that place. This is a funny incident in the text. The idea of Nick showing the girl his torso makes the scene most funniest one. Clear till here? Right. What made Nick choose Bethany Hamilton as his teacher to learn surfing? So when you see here, Nick went to Hawaii in the year 2008. In the year 2008, only to meet Bethany Hamilton. And who is Bethany Hamilton? Surfing master. She had her arm bitten off by a shark when she was at the age of 12. Now Nick chose Bethany Hamilton only because he feels that she too, being a disabled person, can understand and can teach that person a very good thing, because as a disabled person only could know how a disabled person could learn how to surf. She could know the psychological condition of the disabled person because she is also a disabled one. Clear? Then the next question, which aspect of physical condition, Nick's physical condition, helps him to do 360-degree spin? As I told you, that low center of gravity, and that made him to have a very good and a pretty balance. This condition helps him to do the 360-degree spin. What are the distinct features of this text? Like you can say this is autobiography. This is autobiography. The sentences are varied from one to another. You can also say that the ideas are arranged in a logical sequence. And you can say the ideas are exemplified very well. You can see the unity of ideas maintaining the relation between one to another. You can see certain quotations which can change the life. Like you can see the proper introduction is there, development is there, conclusion was also given properly. And mainly the content is message oriented. The main characters like attitudes, likes, dislikes, strengths, weakness give more effective things for this particular text. So now what do you learn from the life of Vic Nugent? See here, as far as I am concerned, I use his life story to inspire the people around the world, right? So Nick is using his life to give a motivational speech, and he's saying about himself, how did he face the problems, all those things. As he is using his life in story to inspire the people all over the world, now I learn and I have understood that if you are failing for once, we should try again and again until we get success. We should not quit anyway. Now Nick shows us that Anything can be done if we try hard enough. Undoubtedly, I feel that his life is a source of inspiration to every one of us. Like everyone get taken inspiration from his life. And he has been able to do all this only because of his faith, hope, and perseverance and strong willpower. Now, Nick proves that disability need not prevent one from reaching the heights. So I learned particularly that I should not lose faith. I should have hope in any situations wherever I am facing with. Clear? Very good.